we're losing it. This can't be happening. It just can't. Alright, how are we looking? Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore has reported to have the lowest opening in the Harry Potter franchise. Damn! How could this happen? Previous installments, lack of interest. Firing Johnny Depp might not have helped. He's been found guilty in court, okay? I didn't exactly have a choice. Oh, Johnny Depp has just been found innocent. Okay, my bad. But you can't exactly blame me, okay? He had charges against him. So does Ezra Miller. Ezra is harmless. Ezra Miller has just been arrested following second-degree assault. Shoot! Okay, we can fix this. We just need to figure out how... J.K. Rowling has just posted a tweet. It says, dress however... No, I do not want to know. Okay, we just need to conduct damage control. Where are we on Hogwarts Legacy? Okay, I guess. Great, release it. But sir, do as I say. Sir, what about Fantastic Beasts? What? No, we are not going back to that again. But we need some new form of Harry Potter material. Oh my god, I've been waiting for you to say this. Okay, we could do a series on the Founders, the First Wizarding War, the Marauders, Dumbledore... A reboot. A what? A reboot. Reboot everything. New cast, new everything. We're starting from scratch. No. We can't let you do this. No. But I can. No, no, please. Please, sir, just reconsider.
No. It's the only way.
So, that's how I like to think it went down, at least. If you've been living under a rock for the past couple of months, Warner Bros. Officially announced that they're going to be rebooting the Harry Potter franchise with a 7-season series and releasing it on HBO Max. Or I guess just Max now, I guess. And... I'm sorry, but... why would they do this? I mean, even just the thought of rebooting this franchise just seems absurd and brings into the question, what's even the point? Well, yeah, okay, that, but from a storytelling perspective, I just think this is completely unnecessary and borderline wrong even. Too many. The Harry Potter franchise is such an important escape, and those 8 movies helped capture this incredible wizarding world. The books can only do so much to try and immerse you in this world. The movies were able to adapt them perfectly and create this incredible visual that everyone holds. From now on, when you read the Harry Potter books, you picture Daniel, Rupert, Emma as Harry, Ron and Hermione. When you picture Hogwarts, you remember that first glimpse we got during the first Harry Potter. Every single actor, creature, setting, scene that was present in those films is what you picture from now on in your head when you read those books. It's already in people's heads, so how could you possibly redo it again and it still have the same cultural impact and effect that those movies had? With a reboot, you can't just throw new actors into these iconic roles and expect people to care. It's not as easy as just throwing some glasses and a painted-on scar onto some random 11-year-old kid and telling the audience that this is their new Harry Potter. You just can't. Snape, Hagrid, Sirius, McGonagall, Bellatrix, Umbridge, Voldemort, these are some of the most iconic portrayals of characters in film. Recasting them with new actors and expecting them to live up to those legacies is just impossible. Even the announcement trailer for this series literally showed the iconic Hogwarts landscape as seen in the Harry Potter films, matched with the famous logo and accompanied by Hedwig's theme. So original, guys. I know this was probably just for the teaser to nostalgia bait the audience, and the series will change things up when it gets into production and development, but that's a massive task considering how iconic all of this imagery is. Now, I was definitely not thrilled when they announced this news, but that's not to say I'm not open to a Harry Potter reboot. You know, in like, maybe 20 years, possibly, but it just seems way too soon, considering the last film literally came out in 2011. You could make the argument that, oh, well maybe this series is for a new generation. But what's wrong with these movies? They're not old, they're not dated, there's nothing wrong with them. They hold up perfectly fine. Okay, well, maybe some rough 2001 CGI, but apart from that, they're pretty good. But I'm not cynical, okay? I don't like projecting negative energy in my videos. I don't think that's necessary. And while I'm not exactly loving this approach to remaking the series, I can see some of the positives to it and why they might choose to go in this direction. I think we can all agree that the books had to cut out a fair bit of stuff, especially once you got to some of the later books in the series, which are a lot longer, and this makes sense because these are adaptations and you can't always keep everything. But with a series, you have the chance to explore these moments in the book with a lot more detail as they deserve. Sure, in a 2.5 hour movie, you can't exactly do everything, but with a season consisting of like 8 episodes, 1 hour each, you can do more with that. For once, we might actually get to see the Quidditch World Cup. At last, we can actually see Tom Riddle's backstory. Finally, we can see Spew. Yeah. Also, within the Harry Potter movies and even the books, most of the story follows Harry and his point of view. Although, with a series, you can have different parts of the episodes focused around various other characters and their perspectives in this larger story, exploring and delving deeper into who they are. Characters like Ginny, Cedric, Neville, Snape, Sirius could all have so much more character development done with them if the series chooses to spend more time with them and flesh them out. You could have full episodes that explore certain aspects from the books like the Marauders, Voldemort's backstory, the history of Hogwarts. This isn't really something we've seen in full detail yet, and that could actually be pretty cool. It mixes it up and shows us something we haven't really seen before. Now that's all good and all, that's cool. Some valid points for sure, but I do have one bigger question. It's a small thing, but I feel like it needs to be said. And that is, why are you remaking Harry Potter, man? The films are perfect, the cast is perfect, everything is perfect. Why do it? There's no point. But you just said, I know what I said, and sure, while there are some valid points, on a grander scale, this just makes no sense. No matter how good this new series is, no matter how faithful it is to the books, no matter how much it lives up to those movies, people are still going to hate it. It's like if they were to announce that they were remaking, I don't know, the original Star Wars trilogy, okay? There would be public uproar about it. There would be riots. There would be protests in the street. You would not hear the end of it. I think these are similar. The Harry Potter brand is so successful. Why risk tarnishing it with a reboot that realistically is not going to live up to the originals in other people's perspectives? But then again, what am I saying? They're not actually going to remake Star Wars. Whoops. The Wizarding World has such an expansive universe of backstories that were only touched on in the books ever so slightly, that have huge potential for a film or television series of their own. Why not make one of those? I know people would love to see a Marauders series, or a Founders series, or even, I don't know, a Harry Potter and the Cursed Child movie. Yes, I'm now on location. Now, I know not everyone is the biggest fan of the Cursed Child. I personally quite like it, but I think seeing this as a movie could be pretty cool if they bring all the original cast back. I think it's something they could definitely explore, and I have no doubt that it would definitely be popular. I believe expanding on the Wizarding World and creating new stories and adventures is so much better than just pressing the restart button and starting over. I mean, why are we going back to square one? Well, I will tell you why. It's because it's safer. And there's proof. Fantastic Beasts 3: The Secrets of Dumbledore lost money at the box office, meaning they can just use the excuse, well, we tried something, it didn't work, let's just go back to what we know works, which kinda sucks. Series in this form are becoming increasingly more popular, especially with streaming services, with more franchises choosing to make this form of content. Star Wars, Marvel, Game of Thrones have all taken this route, but at least these stories are actually original. Even Percy Jackson is coming out with its own series now, something I'm guessing the Harry Potter franchise is taking inspiration from. Now, before you say, oh well, Percy Jackson originally had film adaptations from books, why is that okay? And the short answer is because the Percy Jackson movies kind of sucked. They were not faithful to the source material, made a lot of mistakes, and that is why the franchise was cancelled after the second film. Harry Potter is in a very different situation. You've got 8 movies that were extremely successful and beloved, launching the careers of many notable actors. You can't just recapture that same magic again with new actors playing these iconic roles. People are not going to be thrilled about it. And I haven't really heard too many people talking about this, but I think it is incredibly prominent when talking about this series being announced. And that is, the leads of this series will be played by child actors. It's safe to say that Daniel, Rupert and Emma have all had very successful careers after the Harry Potter series. Daniel Radcliffe has certainly broadened his acting range with many notable performances. Emma Watson has followed similar, with her career definitely having taken off after the Harry Potter films. And Rupert Grint is like a world famous singer now, so I think it's clear that the Golden Trio have definitely had their fair share of success. These 3 are so iconic and loved. Now throw 3 new kids into these roles and they are going to get so much hate for it. No matter who they cast, no matter how good they are as actors, people are still going to write and say horrible things about these kids, which will put a massive strain on not just their acting career, but their lives. It's hard enough when adult actors have to go through this hate from fans, but take an 11-year-old kid who just thought it would be fun to enter this new world, now has the added pressure of living up to those original movies and enduring a lot of hate from fans. That is a lot to handle. And I haven't really talked about it here, but I still think it's important to mention. People are starting to boycott the Harry Potter franchise due to J.K. Rowling's, let's say, vocal opinions on certain topics. And with her now being attached to this project, it is safe to say that people will not support this reboot for that reason, which, you know, is valid. At this point, JK is pretty much just sabotaging her career, and I really hope she just stops because for the most part, I think she is an incredible writer. That's not to say I support any of her views, I most certainly do not, but I just hope she realizes what she's doing is hurting a lot of people. But whether we like it or not, this reboot is going to happen, and while there are both positives and negatives to it, it will be interesting to see how it unfolds. But I think the most important thing about this reboot is to ensure that it feels completely different from those originals in terms of its feel. This series needs to ensure it separates itself from the rest of the franchise if it ever wants to succeed. I'm not saying make it unrecognizable, but slight changes and alterations to everything, including character designs, Hogwarts, visuals, world building, all these things need to be unique to this series if they ever want to be able to cement this as something great. But what do you think of this new Harry Potter reboot? Do you think it's going to work? You happy about it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel and giving this video a big thumbs up for more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Friday.